This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching every movie on the top 250 movies of all time list, according to IMDb. This week, we are watching the 2002 movie Infernal Affairs, directed by Andrew Lau and Alan Mock. The synopsis of this movie is a story between a mole in the police department and an undercover cop. Their objectives are the same, to find out who is the mole and who is the cop. I'm one of your hosts, Denny, and joining me are...
John?
And TC.
And this week, it is John's turn to give us first impressions on this movie. John, what did you think of this?
Well, it was kind of cool to see Richard Gere play, the bad guy for once. You don't see that very often.
I don't get it.
So, what?
Wait. I think you watched the wrong movie.
What do you mean?
Did you really watch the wrong movie?
Did you watch Internal Affairs or Infernal Affairs?
I thought it was misspelled.
Johnny.
Oh,
wrong movie.
Good.
John, Denny, no wonder why he was like, I don't get, why was there a trial? I don't get it.
Yeah.
If you looked at the right movie.
All right, no. All right, we got the wrong movie on Netflix, so we had ordered it on DVD ahead of time. So I did have time to actually watch the real thing, but I started.
Good, Johnny.
You got me, dude. I thought you done fucked up.
Me too. I'm like, there's no hope for this one. This one's fucking.
Well, yeah. We popped the disc in, and we were like, this does not look Hong Kong.
This is not The Departed at all.
I didn't know Richard Gere was in this one. Yeah, to be honest.
Didn't know he was international like
Richard
that.
Gere's in this. Are you sure?
Did you watch both, John? Just quickly.
No.
That's good.
All right.
So what'd you think about this one?
So this other movie, I really liked it. I really wish I got to see this before I've seen like The Departed 3 times. And we're not going to talk about The Departed for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I really wish on one hand, it was kind of neat to see what they did differently from The Departed, or what The Departed rather did differently from it, because it basically is a retelling of this exact story. But I thought Tony, the guy as the mole in the mob, did an awesome job. Like, I really liked his character, and he as an actor is really interesting because he's like a C-pop, which is like Chinese pop music star.
Is he really?
He sings the theme song at the end.
That's Yan, the character Yan. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tony Leung Chiu-wah. There's no hope for me even getting it remotely right.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just gonna go with Tony, right?
Yep.
And I thought he was great. I like, he just, we can have the Leo discussion, but here is an actor playing a role that Leo played, and I thought this guy was so much more like sympathetic doing it.
Wow.
And he wasn't speaking the same language I speak. So.
But you're a well-known Leo hater, so there's that.
Right. I don't hate Leo himself. I just don't
have proof.
I just wish other people took his roles, just because I think I'd like them better.
Yeah.
So it was just an interesting example. I loved, like, there was a lot of great like interactions of good guy, bad guys being in the same place. There was a lot of like, when they were both in the audio store, I thought that was really cool. Both of them not knowing who the other was. I thought that was a really cool scene. Also, I liked the superintendent. I thought he was really good in the scene where the mob boss and the superintendent are both in the same room talking. The mob boss is eating food after they catch him. Yeah, I thought that was a great scene as well. So I thought some of the action sequences were good. I knew what was coming, so it doesn't make like The Departed was great in that, like, when I think of Departed, I think of the one startling sequence when Leo gets popped. That's what like made me that's what made the movie for me, just sort of because it was just so startling and sudden and shocking. So I knew that sort of thing was coming, very likely, unless they decided to differ from it. I thought that the action sequences were pretty good. I think again, I thought it was just a really good action movie, and it's hard for me to evaluate it because I feel like I've seen it before, because I've seen The Departed so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And The Departed it's interesting. Scorsese, both the writer, I think the writer even, or I know the director, Scorsese said they never watched this film.
What?
And I find it a little hard to believe because it's so
I don't.
damn
I've been
similar.
holding back, but I didn't even think
Yeah.
about The Departed when I watched this. I had
Oh,
no
wow,
idea
wow.
it was a remake.
Really?
At all. Yeah, not even.
How many
close.
times? So many scenes, like the movie theater scene and the following, and there's so
God,
many
I wish
scenes
I
that are
cared
like
to
in
watch
the same.
them though. I didn't. But anyways, we'll get to that.
I guess so.
I'd so much rather watch Leo all day. this
Weirdo.
crap.
So, all right, by weirdo, I mean me then. But I think that
You're
what
gonna
I
get
like
ganged up
too
on, John.
is-
You're getting ganged up on.
I know. That's fine. So let me
I
while
have a
I have the floor
While
before
you
I
have
get
the
attacked. In, there are a couple things that this movie does that you can see, like for some reason The Departed decided to do, like, oh, so he's gonna have an affair with the guy, the mistress of the Leo's character, and that none of that shit's happening in this movie, which is great. And there's no Marky Mark character, right? So to come and like mop things up afterward and just kind of be like a Boston dickhead throughout the film. So instead, the bad guy gets away with it. And that's the original ending of the story. And I think that again, the movie is more about, is supposed to be about the bad guy's suffering as well. And that, but he still gets away with it. I mean, his life's probably going to be shit from now on because his wife knows about what happened. So she's never going to trust him and he's going to be miserable, but he does get away with it. There's no Marky Mark and little booties coming in and shooting him at the end. So I thought those choices were, again, it just sort of those were better choices for the story as opposed to what ended up happening in the more Hollywood type version of it. So I like that. And again, I really liked the leads, all four of the leads, the mob boss, the Andy or the Lau who plays, he's the police mole. And then I thought Tony was really good. So I really enjoyed watching it. Again, I just wish it didn't feel like I'd seen a good chunk of it before. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
TZ, how about you go?
Well, I don't know. I didn't get any of that. I'll tell you that much. It was a fucking cheese ball. The whole movie was just cheesy as hell.
Yes.
I couldn't handle it. It was just
Really?
cheesy shot after cheesy shot with fucking cheesy acting and cheesy.
TC, I wrote
score
cheesy
and-
down at least 5 times on my paper.
I cannot. I just couldn't. I was so taken out of almost everything at all times.
What was the cheesiest part to you?
I don't know, dude. Some of those, some of those straight up, those reaction shots with the undercover there and like his stupid one-liners. And then he's like sitting on top of a building and they've got like this camera angle that's flying around him for no intention. It's just, he's up on a building. He's just, he's a mob guy. He's up on buildings. What's he doing up there? No, I don't know, dude.
They make fun of that, too. Like the one guy says, what does he say towards the end?
He's like, what do you guys like? You undercover guys like being on roofs all the time for some reason?
You guys, yeah, exactly.
So let's make a self-referential joke about being cheesy. I mean, I don't know. Couldn't handle it. I don't know, man. I just didn't. I never and once in my mind was like, this is The Departed. Or I wonder what this movie was like. Or it never crossed my mind. To me, those are two separate movies. Even though now that you're talking about it, I'm looking it up. I'm like, I don't know how I missed this.
And I'm curious now because I knew it going in, and I wonder if I would have been able to pick up on it because there are. I think the cell phone stuff I think would have tipped me off the most out of everything.
Yeah. The cell phone, all of those scenes, a lot of the way it works is very much the same, if not exactly in some places, the way it's done in The Departed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I believe that it's, I believe it. It's just that it didn't happen while I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The score was killing me.
Yes, that's what I was
going to
say.
Let's put in the worst symphonic music
Harps.
you've ever heard.
Fake harps.
This, it doesn't, it's all MIDI, clearly.
Yep.
And it's just it's there just because it thinks it should have a score from an orchestra. It was
But it's not
horrible.
even just an orchestra. It's it's like MIDI orchestra plus
they've got
shitty
an
MIDI drum
amalgam of
beats.
shitty drums. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Oh man, I couldn't handle that at all. This
may have helped that I had the volume down a bit.
Oh, really?
So, and now I'm starting to wonder. Maybe I don't know. Since it's not in English, maybe I was having a hard time following it. I'm not looking for inflections or like sorts of like reaction. It's just like I'm showing up and I'm reading, and then I'm looking up and I'm being like, wow, that's cheesy, and then I'm looking back down to reading.
Oh well, shit.
And I'm
Yeah.
not like thinking like I'm not like being, and I'm like couldn't get lost in the story because I'm like trying to pay attention to reading, and I don't know. I had a hard time with this one, man, and like I'm reading all the reviews later, being like, damn, I'm the odd duck. Like, this is a fucking good movie, apparently. If you read everybody's opinion on it, you're like, shit.
I don't know.
I didn't see any of that.
I don't think
know,
so.
Dude. I this movie was tough for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it made it into the 250
So you
as
didn't
far
even-
as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I think it's the
wow,
people that really like The Departed, and they're like, it's like the people who like Ring Goo better than The Ring. They're just wrong. The Ring is a better movie, and The Departed is a better movie. Like, it's just, you know,
No, the
probably-
Departed was fantastic compared to
it's
this.
the hipster way to like view it. You know, it's like, oh, the original one's always the better one. No, this one is 100% worse than The Departed,
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely. And I like Leo,
Aw.
so Team Leo.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll do this one. So the music was, I think I was watching it and I was like, all right, this is kind of really fast paced, and I don't care about any of the characters. They don't like spend any time on character development whatsoever. They just kind of like shove you immediately. Like, you get the entire backstory in the first 3 minutes before the title card shows up.
In like excruciating exposition, too.
Yeah, and it's hard to
where they're
keep
like
up with.
telling you all this shit. Oh, God, I know.
Yeah,
It's like,
it
when's
was-
the movie going to start?
I thought I liked how they did this, that they actually tried to show more of the background. They showed these people aspiring in different ways, whether they were in the academy or they were like lined up in front of their mob boss being told that they're young with clean records. I thought that was pretty cool. And I like the line where it's even right there at the beginning. He's like, the guy who ends up being the mole for the mob, he kind of wishes he could be a rebel and wishes that he could sort of like forge his own path. He wishes he could be like the guy who ended up being the mole in for the police, but is outside the mob. And I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know how I am so disconnected where I didn't get at the cheese factor. Maybe
Dude, all right,
it
so
helped that I had
the scene
volume
that got
down.
me, like, when I was like, I don't know if I like this, and then this one scene came up, and I was like, this is terrible. It was the scene where he goes to the therapist for the first time, and he kind of he gets up out of all he does apparently is sleep there. But then there's one time he gets up and walks over and starts hitting on her, and for no reason she like takes to it, and the music playing and the shots of their stupid smiling faces as they fall in love with each other, like
In like a dream sequence, too. It's like
I mean, that seemed, it seemed sort of like almost
forced.
cheesy.
not forced.
It was cheesy.
I guess so. It seemed like naive. It seemed like they're not really going to show a lot of like what they're allowed to do in terms of showing affection and whatever. I don't know if allowed or whatever, but in terms of this movie, you know, like they're being racy when they're saying we tested the bed. Yeah, and again, I don't know what the standards are like over there as far as what you're allowed to show or not show. But that was, so it to me, I just sort of dismissed that as like, well, they're just sort of dancing around this stuff, and I didn't, it's fair enough that it didn't seem like there was much there. There was much there to work with. They show nothing about their relationship.
If you didn't hear the music for that part, that was really the cincher. Like,
Oh yeah, the music fell apart for me many times. Where like the scene could have been good, but the songs were so shitty.
yeah, like they're trying to be badass, but it's like this like really shitty metal orchestra song that someone probably made in 5 minutes.
Is it like weirdly atonal, or is it just sound like it's?
It sounds like
just
someone
very
had a really
simple?
crappy program that made beats on a computer and just like plugged in random MIDI notes and had like the stock drum beat without any type of. It sounded like thin and fake the entire time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, and again,
get behind
I
that
don't
one.
know if that's more of like there's some Asian styles of music that are atonal, or if it's just
No,
really
it wasn't
scrappily done. I don't
atonal
know.
stuff.
Nah.
It wasn't that.
it wasn't
No, it was
atonal.
trying to be like.
was
It
just-
sounded like flat, regular rock stuff. Kind
Yeah,
of.
it was like if some dude, called himself Donnie Elfman or something, Like, it wasn't Danny, but it was Donnie. It had Donnie on it, I guess close. It was almost there, but not
Donnie
quite,
Elfman.
Yeah, it's Donnie. It's Jimmy Williams,
It's like, that's Danny's normal older brother who wishes he could be weird, but he just can't do it.
So also, I thought there were three. I think there were three, maybe four individual scenes where violence happens on the screen. Like one of them was when the SP Wong guy gets tossed off the building. There's one where he gets shot. And by the way, the elevator scene in this movie is 1,000 times worse than the one in The Departed.
Worse.
Yeah, like when he gets shot in the head and it cuts to black. and then it rewinds and shows it to you again, and it goes in slow motion in black and white, and then there's freaking flashbacks to his stupid other memories. Like,
I know. I wish that they had just stopped when it went to black, and then you just see his body there,
Yes.
and you're just allowed. I liked that it went to black. I thought that was really cool. Like the idea of like that's like letting you know, The Sopranos did that too, right? But it's just the idea that you know that's it for him, and that's all he knows. I like that a lot. But then I agree. I think that I would have rather it's just like then just move on,
right?
Then just let's not get. It felt like it was getting like sentimental, and I could little cheese there. I could admit
cheese.
to that for sure. Right there, spreading a little that cheese whiz right there, just right there.
Yep, that's the noise, all right.
I can agree. So, but I did like up until that point. I really liked it. I liked them doing the fade to black thing. And then the rest of it was like
there were freeze frames that faded to black. They freeze framed a lot for no reason.
What about the stuttering slow mo?
Yeah, why?
Dude, it was horrible.
There were parts
1996 slow mo.
There were parts of the movie that didn't make any sense either. Like there's the scene where the bad guy's girlfriend, they're like moving into his apartment. She's like, this chair isn't too big. It's not to my specifications. And it zooms out. And she's sitting on a fucking footrest. It's not a chair. It's like the script doesn't match with the hat on the screen. What? It's just bad.
Maybe that was the joke.
I mean,
maybe that's the joke.
Noticed. I mean, I don't know. I noticed. I remember noticing that one, but then I just was like, eh. I mean, it didn't bother me.
So
I don't
John's
know.
blatantly ignoring the cheese and the lack of authenticity.
Care.
Well, no, I wouldn't say not necessarily ignoring. I say I'm not letting it get to me and spoil the rest of the movie.
John, I went into this. It got worse and worse. Like halfway through, I was like, "This is all
but
right."
Like when you
By
go
the
out
end,
in
I was
the
like, "Fuck
wintertime
that."
and you go, "I'm not gonna let the cold get to me." You still got to put on a coat.
Yeah. John had one of those like see-through plastic raincoats that like they give you for free at Gallagher shows.
Walked
like
out
all
there
the
with a
cheese
glad
just bounces
bag on.
off.
He's like, I'm good.
Right, I'm all right. That's right. All right. So she's sitting on a stool and it's not her size. Okay, whatever.
But isn't that remove you from it? It's like they couldn't even change the dialogue in the movie to make this look right. Like it's just lazy.
One question is wondering about the translation in that.
The translation, I was gonna say it might just be
more so than the actual.
Like the time that dude from India told me that the Gangs of Wasseypur translation's pathetic.
Yeah.
It could be something like that.
So that I would be more inclined to think that's what's going on there in those cases. I think that the translation's just not fitting.
No, I mean, I would agree if this was the only one, but there are other things like, I don't know if you guys play golf, but there's a scene where the guy's like hitting balls at a driving range, and he is doing the worst fake golfing impression I've ever seen in a movie. Like mid-swing, he's turning around and talking to the guy. He's not even swinging his arms fast. It's just completely unbelievable. And it's like, come on. The director should be like, hey, at least make him look like he's golfing. Like this looks like a shitty stage play right now.
Yeah.
I get a bunch.
I didn't
get
care.
a bunch.
I know. Go on. I don't care. I liked it. I liked it.
Are we turning you at all, John, or are you going to stick? Are you digging your
we're
heels?
not turning him at all. He's foot in the ground.
I enjoyed the movie. I mean, again, I'm not going to necessarily say it's like one of the best of all time or anything, but I liked it. And again, it's hard to say. It's hard for me to say. And again, I know this will. You guys clearly don't agree with this, but I think it ranks as entertaining as The Departed was for me, and I wish I'd seen it before.
Wow!
Because none of the surprises were surprises. Because I've seen The Departed and I knew kind of what was coming. Yeah. I knew that he was going to shoot the other guy in the elevator once he lets him know he's also the mole. I thought, what you can do too, I guess, is even if you remove yourself from the movie, you can see why people love this as the story ideas, like the double moles and the way the plot moves. That there's a lot of really good things there. You can see that in this movie that the
idea of
the beats of the story, right? That there's a lot of really cool ideas. Like and the way it all plays out is really cool.
I agree with the first part of that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the way the story ideas play out, not necessarily how it's
created,
aside from
how it's shown,
how it's filmed, how it's shot, or whatever.
How it's presented,
but
in film form.
Yes.
Didn't you find it very confusing? Like even I'm pretty versed in The Departed too. It was like what was going on in certain things was confusing. Like there was the scene towards the beginning where the cop mole, or sorry, the mob mole that's pretending to be a cop has the guy that got caught. He pretends to be a lawyer, and the main character guy's on the right. The guy in trouble is on the left, and then they cut to a camera shot underneath the table, and they switch where they're at. And I'm like, why is the guy in trouble? Why does he have a cell phone, and why is the other guy plugging in the number? Like, I don't understand that. I had to rewind it and realize that one of the guys had a bracelet on, and be like, oh, this is just confusing filmmaking. Why would they bring the camera across the other side of the table, you know? Like, for a reference, you have a guy on the left, guy on the right, and then a close-up, it's flipped. So, and all you can see is their hands and their knees, and you're just like, I don't know who's who because I can't see their faces. This is fucking confusing.
Yeah. Huh.
No, that didn't appear confusing to you guys?
I didn't even know. I was not probably paying attention.
Yeah,
anymore.
you're like, none of this
Even at the
matters.
beginning. Yeah, this fucking movie is horrible. That's all I kept thinking. I had no idea. I honestly thought these two idiots knew each other when they were in the store. I didn't even know they didn't know each other. I was like, oh, they're already friends.
Oh.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool, I guess. Moving on.
Do you really think they would have remembered each other that far down the line? Because there was like one interaction, probably months before. I don't know if it was months.
I mean, I don't know. I just saw the kid that came in to look at my apartment one time, like 3 months ago, on a bike. Like, yeah, that's that guy. Hey, let's not make eye contact. I didn't pick you.
Nope. No comment on that, John?
Nah, I got nothing on this one. John's giving up. John's giving up.
Yeah. Don't feel bad, John. I'm just yelling at you because I feel like it'd be funnier that way, but don't feel like I'm actually attacking your point of view.
Sure, whatever, for the sake of comedy. That's important. Nah.
Yeah, my feelings don't matter.
No, what's hard is it's puzzling. Like, and again, I don't know if there's any other film. This maybe rank up there for us as far as like not being on the same page, right? I mean, like with Barry Lyndon, we had at TC, you were all in with the character, and Denny and I were a little bit removed from it. But I don't think we at that point, like, none of us were like dissing the film as a whole, right? It was
that's true.
We all could still find a lot of parts to respect it. I don't think there's been a movie yet where there was like where you guys saw the cheese and I just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to admit too that like when you get to that point when you're like thinking, oh my God, this is so cheesy, right? Like you've given up on it. Like, there's nothing it can do to tell you that like, oh, this might be all right.
Yeah, no, you guys are sighing and eye rolling and just waiting for the damn thing to be over. Like at some point in the film for both of you,
John,
guys
I will
are hitting
say
that wall.
That is
right?
not true because I did like solidly disliked it more and more as it went on. It's not like I stopped giving it a chance. It disappointed me like over and over again. And the ending especially. The ending pissed me off. I thought it was terrible.
I didn't even know it was over when it ended. I'm not even kidding. I was like, oh, does this the cop? Because I was watching on like a shitty copy. I was like, oh, maybe there's like another part.
Credits.
Credits.
So like what pissed was it the flashback stuff that pissed you off about the ending that we talked
how
about?
How the guy like, why is he trying to change who he is? They don't show that at all. Like he's in his head he's like, I wish I picked the other path. Screw you. You just murdered a bunch of people. Like you didn't have an arc. You were terrible until like the last 30 seconds of the movie. The music was terrible. I thought the crying woman, like they didn't know each other, and she's like, I dream of you like every night or whatever. I'm like, fuck that. Are you kidding me? Like,
no, she doesn't.
Yeah, she met him 3 times, and then the person that he met on the street with like the daughter, who was like his old girlfriend, like over 5 years ago, at least like 6 or more years ago. She's there, and her daughter is like in the shot. And you're like, what are they doing? These people shouldn't even be in the movie.
It's his daughter, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Shows how much you were paying attention.
Hey, I was trying.
She said she was
no idea.
5 years old, and after he leaves, she says, "Mommy, I'm 6." And she didn't want him to know how old she actually was.
I thought the mother was just stupid, and I was like, that's weird.
No.
That's kind of funny,
maybe at some point you stopped giving the film any credit.
Dude, I at least had a thought about it. I was like, that's weird how dumb that mother is. You'd think like even 6, that's a pretty low number.
The best part is that you had been so annoyed with this film, you're like, they would do something like that.
Yep.
They would be that stupid.
Yeah, that's true,
they
right?
would do something like that.
That makes no sense.
It's a fucking footrest. It's not a goddamn chair.
The footrest. The girl's 6. What's the matter with you?
So I think there's this idea. I mean, again, I still stand by the idea. I sympathize. I like have more sympathy for this character the way he was played than the way Leo played him. And this idea of somebody like basically their whole life is just fucked for like 10 years. and he can't really get out either. He keeps getting, and there's no way for him to safely get out because there's only like a small handful of people who know that he's actually not a criminal. And I think that character is just really interesting and sad. And here he is meeting this girlfriend of his who thinks of him as a criminal, very likely, and who doesn't want him to know that he has a daughter. And I thought that was pretty sad.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I mean, it's again, the story is great. It's almost like I'd want it to be remade yet again. Damn it, because it's just
Or like maybe like read a book or something because
yeah,
he did a great job on the film. Like,
right.
say it.
Well, I mean, and I didn't like in The Departed. I didn't like Jack Nicholson, and I thought he was just sort of hamming it up.
Really?
I thought
Disagree.
the mob boss in this
love
one.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I thought he was amazing in that.
Yeah.
Even like the scene where he
Oh,
pretends
really?
to be a rat. I'm like, yes.
No,
Yes.
I thought he was just hamming it up. It just seemed like it's like Al Pacino doing, just going off.
Just
being Al
knocking
Pacino. It's like,
the best actors alive, John. Just keep knocking them. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Leo sucks, Nicholson sucks, fucking Jesus Christ. Who's next?
Pacino.
Tom Hanks? What do you got on Tom Hanks? Let's
what?
get to what
It
you got.
doesn't. I mean, no, it's not to be that he's not good in every role. I found myself annoyed by his character and didn't really see him believable as the mob boss. In that role,
He
that's,
fits that role perfectly, I thought.
I agree.
I didn't think so. But anyway, no.
No.
No, John.
So you definitely will see it. Just poking around online, you'll see a lot of people who are more reasonable like you guys and think The Departed is way
Yeah,
way
and we
better.
can correlate them with the ones that like this fucking thing.
Yeah, they're a bunch of losers or hipsters.
Bunch of hipster weirdos.
Yeah,
I never
and
said losers. I never said
wearing
losers.
trucker hats and standing in front of you at a
losers.
concert with their trucker hat indoors.
Hey, if you're 6'5", get out of the way. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you need a trucker hat inside? You don't need a trucker hat inside, buddy. And I can't see. Around.
I've never heard anyone make fun of that. I've heard of sunglasses inside being made fun of, but people wear hats inside all the time.
The big floofy trucker hat that makes it hard to see around over him.
Are you thinking about a cowboy hat?
No, it's like a
Guy.
big ball cap, but it's he sits way up on his head. It's like just.
Are you thinking about one specific person?
No, I think
Yeah,
he's talking
yeah,
about
actually.
he's right.
I think you went to. Did you go see it was the Grimes show that there was a guy there that had a big trucker hat on, a big ball cap.
I was there, but that's not what
I know what I'm
remember.
getting you for your fucking next time I'm getting a gift.
Anyway,
if I
stilts?
ever do.
and trucker hat. They have a big eagle on it. Anyway,
So, John, all right, what are your thoughts on the slow clap police precinct scene? Did you like that scene, John? Was that a good scene?
The condescension in that question alone, Teddy.
I just want to
You
know.
couldn't have
John's
phrased
thoughts.
it. You couldn't have
I
phrased
know.
it in a worse way.
Here comes the slow clap. It wasn't. I'll say. It wasn't. As far as slow claps go, it was a little fast.
It was
I
one
like
of the,
my slow claps a lot slower than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It could have been slower and worse.
You could have
So,
gotten
yeah.
further in before anyone started doing it, is what I wanted. I wanted him to walk around for at least
Yeah.
3 minutes in silence before somebody had the balls to start clapping for him.
But can we stutter the video a little bit?
They didn't have fast cameras back then. They had to just cut frames out.
Shoot that shit on digital. Back in
Sorry,
the day.
John.
Ah.
Sorry, John.
I liked the bodyguard guy who also turned out to be the cop. I thought he was good. He was kind of a funny character, though he died horribly in the car.
Yeah, and I've seen him in, what was he? He was in another movie we already saw.
Was he?
Really?
Yeah, he was the, what was I mean, we haven't watched that many Asian movies, right? It was another one
Ip
where
Man?
he was, it was an Ip Man, yeah. He was the fucking cop.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was the cop. He was the one that was like friends with everybody, but in the whatever they were calling it, the Royal Service. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Police, I think, right?
I have no
Yeah.
idea. I don't even know who you guys are talking about, so I'll stay out of this.
Ah, look it
No,
up.
he's
It's on
the
there.
guy that died. He died in the car.
Oh, the ponytail thing?
Yeah, ponytail guy who
Ah.
also turned out to be undercover.
Yeah, they both had two people undercover. Whoa.
Well, that's again, The Departed does that. I like that. Again, it was kind of interesting the way it played out.
None of the plot stuff I had any problem with. Like the twists and everything were cool, even though I knew they were coming and stuff. But it was just like,
I know. I think that makes it harder. It is. You do have to say that if you'd not seen The Departed and known this, You might have been at least able to say that you really liked how the plot worked and that you were
Maybe.
surprised by events.
I would have been even more
happened to me.
confused, I think.
Oh, maybe.
Because I mean, they drop names so many times, and you, like the people aren't even there, and you're like, who are they talking about? And then it cuts, and they're running around a building, you're like, oh God, what are they doing? And then there's like a whole bunch of group of people, and the cuts aren't like linear enough to make it so you can follow the action very easily. And yeah, I mean, even though I knew who was good, who was bad the entire time in the individual, especially the scenes where they're all running around and stuff, I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. They're all just freaking like they're all trying to get each other, and that's all I know. Let's watch these people run around a warehouse for a little while.
Okay.
Well, where's Richard Gere? That's what I want to know.
I thought you were making fun
was
of
good,
one of
John.
the actors that looked like Richard Gere. Did you guys notice how some of the like did they speak English randomly sometimes?
No,
Well, I
don't know.
think
Did
they had phrases like I'm sorry,
Yep,
or
sorry.
I think there were certain
They said
there's certain phrases.
They said bye.
Yeah.
They said yes, sir.
Yeah.
They said stand by. And I was just like, are they peppering in English? I don't know why that would be at all.
No, it's just I think it might just be, well, Hong Kong is pretty international, so it might just be that's kind of common in their
like the
everyday
lingo?
language to use English phrases. Yeah,
That makes sense.
I think. Yeah, I don't think that's like that it was something that was inserted in there. I think that's actually probably more they're just common manner of speaking.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably not going to be happening for much longer, but you know, Hollywood and everything has had a huge influence, and so they've probably seen, you know, you grow up watching a lot of American television, a lot of English movies and TVs and stuff. So more so than say like your average person here grows up watching a bunch of foreign films. So you probably end up and listening to probably a lot of English speaking music as well.
Mm.
So it's probably fairly common that you end up adopting these phrases into your everyday language.
That makes sense. I'll buy that. I won't add that to the list of problems.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Let's scratch that one
Yeah,
off.
you got one, John. Good job.
Yay. All right.
I got a question plot wise. The police officer Lau at the end, he's in an elevator with a killed police officer and a killed mob guy, and they figure
Right.
out that one of them's like, how does he get away with that? And no one suspects anything because it took him 6 months to figure out what happened, right?
Right.
So I mean, he like what story did he tell where he got away with him, like that guy also being an undercover cop?
Right. That's a good.
I just
don't
figured he
know.
didn't have to tell him because he's, inspector.
He's just like, look, I'm the inspector. We got the bad guys.
They're not going to question
There's
him.
2 dead bodies in that elevator. I'll be on my desk. Don't talk to me.
Yeah. No, they probably filled
Yeah.
in the blanks. Like, okay, so the bad guy killed this dude, and then the inspector killed the bad guy. All right, done. Moving on.
He could have made it up, and he could have also then, because he exonerated what's his name, so even though he's dead,
Yeah.
and said, yeah, he was helping him out and helping him, and then they got cornered by this guy, and he shot him, but he didn't shoot him in time or whatever, so he could say that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you can concoct something at that point because there's nobody else to say otherwise, and he's just caught the big mob boss, or shot him. But yeah.
And shot the light in the elevator. I kind of like that shot to put a positive thing in there.
Oh, the bullets coming out like that?
Yeah, and like the 2 little lights.
Yeah, I think it would have been. Although, how did that happen? Like, why were you shooting up?
He was uppercutting him with a gun. Bang! It's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I don't.
He laid down on the ground and just shot up. Like, and then the bullets were very, very far apart. You'd think it'd be like bang, bang, bang. You're dead. It was like bang,
Right.
bang,
Bang, bang.
bang.
Oh,
Bang.
he might have been. He might have been setting up shots to cover his story or something about
maybe.
what happened.
Or they could have been struggling in there, like a little hand-to-hand thing going on.
Right.
Struggling for the
maybe,
gun.
Yeah. There you go. See, I knew that was going to happen. I was just at that point. It's like, well, I wonder how they're going to do this one. How he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
Because in The Departed, it's very. They don't do it in the elevator. They're talking outside of the elevator. I think in The Departed, where the guy's like, well, you're lucky. Yeah, I'm the only one who knows now.
Yeah. I thought the Departed was way more shocking. Like, this wasn't shocking at all, I felt. I don't know.
Well, you knew it was coming. I think, that, again, like I said, that's what Leo's death in Departed is really, really abrupt.
Yeah.
Like, in a way that you just don't see in movies hardly ever. You don't see your hero just, bam, die with nothing. No, I think that's one of the, like, most masterful things about that film is.
I would agree. That's
like,
definitely the most memorable part of that movie.
Yeah, it's like, it really, like, the first time I saw it, it just, like, was like a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
so I knew that was coming at this point for this guy. I just was like, well, how are they going to do it? I did like if it would have just been right to the black and then you just see him on the floor so that you slowly realize what the hell happened. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been way better.
But that's not what happened.
That's not even close.
Not even close. Right.
But and that like there was they didn't in mainland China, they didn't allow the ending to be what it was.
Yeah. Did you watch the alternate ending?
No, I didn't watch the
It's not
alternate
very
ending.
good.
He's like
It's shittier than the real one, which isn't saying much.
Well,
Not
their hearts weren't in it, I'm sure, but they couldn't let the bad guy get away.
All they
with-
do,
with
so
the
you know
crime.
how there's like probably 4 minutes after he like exits the elevator at the end. It's like all montage and whatever. Straight from that scene, the bottom floor when he gets out of the elevator, they come up. It's like a no real dialogue. They come up with like papers and they show it to him and they handcuff him and they walk him out and that's the end.
Well, again, I'm sure that it was something they just threw together to be like, all right, well, we have to, in order to release this in China, this is what we got to do. So let's get it done.
Yeah, true that, man. Make money or don't. So I was right. What's his name? Gordon Lam Katung is the guy that was in this one and Ip Man.
Ooh,
He was Inspector.
Well done.
Good
Chu.
catch.
I thought he was good in that. I liked him.
Yeah, he's been in a few things actually. Now that I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, I've actually seen that one too. So it's cool. He's got a lot of fun. He's been around since 1992.
So we got the Ip Man guy, we got the pop star guy.
All systems go as far as the cast, right? I mean, you've got a
Oh
lot of
no,
heavy hitters in
this was like as far as like Asian actors, this was kind of a
This
dream
was the
team
thing.
scenario,
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe I just gotta,
I thought everyone
at
was
some
really
more.
bad at acting.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't like Hong Kong.
I really like. I thought the lead did a great job.
And I think Denny, we're on the odd man out here on this one.
You think
'cause
so?
There's a lot of people. Yeah, there was a lot of people online that definitely on the internets.
Oh,
that
the
definitely
internet
like 'em.
people.
There's certainly people that are doing write-ups and discussions saying they felt like that The Departed was way better. So I mean, I think it's not like you're in a vast minority or anything in this case.
I think you could say without question that The Departed is a much better put together movie than this movie.
Well, what was the budget for between the two films?
This one was $6 million, and The Departed was $90 million. So
okay. So
there's a bit of a thing. It makes a difference.
Probably. Think about too how much money in a budget. I don't know how much they get paid, but how much money goes into editing and post-production stuff.
Yeah.
That they don't have the money or budget to do in a lot of in smaller films, relatively smaller films. This might have been a big budget film for a Hong Kong film, but you can also see. I mean, one way of looking at this is seeing this as an indie flick. What if you saw this as a scrappy indie flick in a way? But that's not fair because these guys are really accomplished actors.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty big budget.
So yeah, it's a big budget for things. So that's probably not a good direction to go. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it.
You liked it. That's good. I'm glad you liked it, John.
Aw, thanks, Danny.
Yeah.
I disliked it.
Oh,
I didn't like it at all.
I'm glad you disliked it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry it caused you such pain.
Nah, it didn't.
It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst one we
It
watched.
wasn't that. But I've definitely spent
What?
way worse of my time on other things. So it was
What
fine.
one has been worse for you guys?
The Help.
Oh,
The Help is
Help?
the
I
low
don't know.
bar.
right.
Help.
Yeah.
I'm going with the The
And
help
that's-
has really helped our bar be a lot better.
Yeah, it's not about the craftsmanship there. That's about like the content, I guess.
Yeah, and the content is shit.
Right. I know, but it's like the movie itself wasn't necessarily put together in a way that upset you scene by scene so
Yes,
much.
it
It was
did.
really more
It
about.
did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I believe it
so
did.
The Help is so far the Help is the low bar comparatively.
Yeah, I mean, this
speaking.
isn't even. This is. There's a few we've watched where I liked less than this, but I think it
Wait, what other ones?
Lagan, I'd put below.
Oh man.
Yeah, I didn't really like Lagan. So I'm curious what John has to say about this. John. Oh, so do you guys have anything else to
Danny.
add to this movie? Anything else you want to talk about? Doesn't
I don't.
sound like it. TC hasn't for the
No,
past
I-
half an hour.
Yeah.
John, you're good.
I think I'm okay. Yes.
Would you put this in? Would you, if you were to pick the top 250, put it in the list of one of the top 250 best movies ever made?
Probably not.
Probably not. TC.
Wah, wah.
Do we even have to
Fuck no.
ask? No. Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. But next week, I think we have a good shot. At
You
maybe
didn't even
saying
say
yes.
yours because it's already a no.
Yeah, it makes yeah.
You didn't even put. You didn't even give your
it's
opinion.
a yes. It's a yes, everybody. Oh,
Yeah, I've been faking all this time.
now we're gonna start the podcast over.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sure.
Next week's movie is Alfred Hitchcock movie,
Ooh, which one is it?
Strangers on a Train.
Oh,
I
good.
don't
Have
know if
either
I've
of you
that
seen
one.
this?
I don't
no,
think so.
no.
I have not either.
Did they did they do a
Snakes
remake
on a
of
plane,
this?
yeah. Strangers on a train, not so much.
All right, so don't watch that one.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
Richard
one
Gere
either.
is
It
in that
just
one,
came
too.
to mind. Yeah, Richard Gere's in that one.
It's Richard Gere and Samuel L. Jackson, I think.
It's a rom-com
Hey,
with Richard Gere and snakes, really. You know.
Right.
All right, so 1951.
Yeah.
Okay, this could be this is black and white, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Our
Probably.
first Hitchcock film.
A psychotic socialite confronts a pro tennis star with a theory on how two complete strangers can get away with murder, a theory that he plans to implement. That sounds pretty good.
Ooh.
That does sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Hitchcock was definitely a murderer in his brain.
Yeah, he likes to stab things in his brain.
He loves murder. No, this is going to be a good one, probably.
Yeah.
Shit.
I
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah, all right.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to do last week when we had Sean on. Is I forgot to tell him how awesome our intro music is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
wanted-
shit. I didn't even think about that, John. Good
I
call.
know.
Fuck.
So he did. I mean, he did an awesome job last
Oh,
week.
we got to
and it
get
was
him
a lot of
more on
fun.
the show, in period.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a funny dude.
Yeah,
It was pretty
It was
fun.
a lot of fun. But
Yeah, he's a
so
funny
Sean, if
dude.
you're listening, though, thanks for the intro
thanks,
music
Sean.
because it's great.
Yeah,
Did a great job, kid.
agreed. Thanks, Sean. All right, so if you want to email us, do that at mission250filmcast@gmail.com. Go to mission250filmcast.com. You can see our list and what's coming up next. It's frozen in time, so you can follow along with us. Please rate and subscribe in iTunes if you enjoyed it. And thanks for listening.
Yeah, we'll
buddy.
see you guys next week.
Yeah. All right. Next week, guys.
All right. Peace.
Bye.